Subscribers. This is Dr. Copeland once again. You probably notice I have a different look than the beard and the shaved head. This is my Happy New Year to me. Today we're talking with an individual that I worked with many years ago. His name is Elijah. That's all you need to know. But as a result of some work that we did in behavioral modification years ago, and the fact that he made a decision to be different than his peers, and I'm going to let him tell you the story. He's had some great successes in life. Now, we know that nobody's life is perfect, but you know that you can have successes if you stay pretty focused. So I'm going to turn it over to Elijah, let you chat with him. We are COVID safe. We are more than 6 feet apart. But nonetheless, he's going to have a conversation with you to tell you a little bit about his story, some of the challenges he had as a teenager about the time that we came on the scene to meet with him, and the decisions that he made in order to move forward. Without further ado, this is Elijah.
Hello, man, I'm Elijah, as Dr. Jim just introduced me. I remember him coming onto the scene around me being 13 years old, and I would struggle a lot with just, getting in trouble. The neighborhood I lived in is surrounded by nothing but the wrong influences, and I let them influence me a lot when I was younger, not making the right choices. A lot of disrespect towards my mom, and just, there's a whole bunch of stuff mixed into the pot of like stuff I was doing. And at the end of the day, for myself, I knew that I didn't want to keep going on this path. But I didn't know how to change it. I've had counselors all my life growing up, and I just couldn't, it never worked, So Dr. Jim ended up coming along, and it didn't work at first, is what I'd say. There was some struggles. But I think the one thing that worked with him is he showed he cared. And, a lot of the people that come in, to the counseling space, I don't think they're in it for the right reasons per se. And I don't think they can relate. Dr. Jim related to me, to my situation, the stories he told, the way he just talked to me, you could tell he cared, and that resonated with me, being a hard-headed kid who didn't want to listen to anybody. But here's this strange man who comes into my life and just, resonates with me. He tells me these stories. He kind of pushes me to get on track. And I think, honestly, for me, I've never had a father figure in my life. And he kind of came in, not necessarily played that father figure role, but played a role model role as a male figure, something I never had growing up. And that kind of hit hard for me. So yeah, like just getting in trouble, getting in fights, like I said, disrespecting mother. I was doing it all. And, he kind of just came in and changed my mentality, the way I seen things.
Did I offer you a bunch of strategies to follow?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. A lot of strategies, a lot of just advice, solutions. I remember one of the things, and this isn't on a behavioral aspect, but this is how good of a character he is. I remember I was overweight in middle school, so one of the things I wanted to do was lose weight. So we went right outside my house, and he had me, just doing different physical activities to try to give me an idea of what to do so I can lose the weight. And that's something he didn't have to do. There was times like he offered just in general to take me to Funland, or like, just do different things, take me to the mall to get me some shoes. And I remember turning all those things down at first. And that's something that for me, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't comfortable. I've always tried to be a single-minded person to where I don't like to accept stuff from others, and he just came in and tried to help as best as he can, and even offering these things that other counselors wouldn't even have had a second thought about doing. And with that being said, it kind of resonated with me. And
tell them a little bit about your juvenile detention experience.
Okay. I went to juvie in 8th grade. I got in a fight in middle school. I was there for a month and 2 weeks. Was it worth it? I start off by saying no. I wasn't around family, wasn't around friends. It was a horrible experience. I remember on my court date, I was walking into the courtroom, had shackles on my wrists, shackles on my legs, walking in an orange jumper and a jumpsuit, and my mom, grandpa, and Dr. Jim were in there, and they just looking at me, and I don't know how to feel. I'm literally shackled up walking into a courtroom. And I think that was like a clicking spot in my head to like, I don't want to go back here. Like, not even like the juvie is bad, but seeing the faces on your parents and just knowing what you have done, and seeing like my mom broke down crying from that because I walked in shackles. You know, that hit me deep. And from that point on, I knew I definitely didn't want to go back. And you know, Dr. Jim helped with that. And he just, like I said, he showed he cared. And that's so big. It's so meaningful. It's so deep when someone can come into a random kid's life and just show he cares. It's amazing.
So if you've learned anything else, what have you learned most about this experience with behavior modification?
Honestly, this is what I'll say. With Dr. Jim coming in and showing he cares and everything and whatnot, and me walking out in shackles and seeing that I didn't want to go back, I'd say that wasn't the end of me getting in trouble. After Dr. Jim left, I still got in some trouble, still made mistakes, right? But what I would say I learned as a 21-year-old man, about to be 22 years old, I can look back on it and take everything that he's ever taught me, the stories he's ever told, all the advice he's ever gave me. I can look at it and say it's made me a part of who I am now. The track I'm on, I'm in school. I am doing my own podcast. I was a manager at 19 years old. I was a team lead at 21. So like it's moving, just constantly moving up and not wanting to go back. I think being the product of an environment was something that was stereotypical for a lot of kids that grew up in this neighborhood. I knew I didn't want to be that, right? And Dr. Jim helped push me along to the right track. And he kind of made me fade away from that course of thinking. And to where now, it might not have, like I said, I might not have stopped getting in trouble right away, but now I wouldn't be where I'm at today without what he was saying to me, you know? And I was always too focused on being the cool kid or just like doing what my friends were doing and just, you know, I put my friends' thinking over my thinking and my mom's thinking, right? And that's never a good thing, because when you do that, you allow yourself to get in trouble. One thing that I learned is like, you're not coming home to your friends every night. You're coming home to your mother, right? So your friends aren't going to be here when you're getting chewed out. So it's best just to, you know, do what you got to do. It might be hard because of influences and like I said, friends that you have, but doing the right thing isn't hard. Doing the bad thing is what's hard. Honestly, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Well, subscribers, you've seen a heartfelt testimonial from a young man that's come a long way from the very, very beginning. As he has said to you, you know, you have to do the hard things, those things that are necessary in order to be successful. But the other side of that is that it's not the end of the story. That's the plus. Parents, I know you're working really hard to cause your children to be as successful as possible, but sometimes it just doesn't seem like it's not working. As I said in one of the earlier videos, be the parent. Stay focused. You will be successful. It's just a matter of time. Have the right heart, have the right attitude, and make sure that you're doing the right thing as a parent. Well, this is Dr. Jim. We will do, of course, some additional subsequent videos in the near future. But stay safe and do what you need to do in order to be successful. Until next time, goodbye.